Lesson 8.9 is solving for a side with similar triangles. This is going to require distribution. In the diagram below, DE is parallel to AB. What that then gives us is, if these are my parallels and this is my transversal, this angle and this angle are congruent. So then what that means is I've got angle, angle. Therefore, knowing that this small triangle is similar to the entire triangle ABC. It says if DE is 5 less than DC, AC is 56, so I'll label that first. AC is 56, AB is 48. Find the length of DC. So not knowing DC, we better just call that X. And then DE is 5 less than that. Let's say DC was 10. If I want to know 5 less than 10, you would do 10 minus 5. So we need to have X minus 5 when it says 5 less than something. Okay, so hopefully you can see that X corresponds with 56. X minus 5 corresponds to 48. So I'm going to say X is to 56 because these are really the hypotenuse of each triangle, and then I'm going to have X minus 5 over 48. And again, I had to make sure I went small triangle to big, small to big. Cross multiply, you get 56 times X minus 5 equals 48X. And you just solve. So you get 56X, 56 times negative 5 is negative 280. Now I'm going to subtract the 56x over. So I get negative 280 equals negative 8 divided by negative 8. And I get 35. And all they wanted was DC, which I did call X. So once I solve for X, that's fine. If they wanted DE, you would have to plug 35 in, subtract 5, so really this is 30. All right, number 2. In the diagram, PQ is parallel to MN. So again, this is just saying that then this is my transversal, so this angle and this angle is the same. Then I have enough info to know this little triangle is similar to the entire triangle because I have angle, angle, and then really angle being the same. If the length of MN is the same as length of PO, so we just want to call them X. So MN is X, PO is X. I did not call that. That's PQ. What am I doing? Okay, hold on. That's X. If MN is the same length as PO, MO is I am really screwing that up, aren't I? Okay, whoa. MN is the same length of PO. Whoa. MO is 5. PQ is 2. Find the length of PO. So again, we just need X. So I'm going to say 2 is to X as X is to 5. Okay, I cross multiply, so I get an X squared equals 10. Square root to get X by itself. Remember that you get positive and negative square root of 10, but negative doesn't make sense in this problem because this is supposed to be an actual measurement, so we take off the negative and really it's just positive square root of 10, which would be a decimal, but it says to state it in simplest radical form. All right, and then number 3 in the diagram below, NO is parallel to KL. So then that would be a transversal, so these angles would be the same, and these would be the same, so that's enough to say, okay, this triangle here, the smaller one, is similar to the whole one. Kind of reminds me of a piece of pizza. If NO is 3 more than LO, so LO is here, NO is 3 more than that, so I would have X plus 3. MO is 10, and KL is 12. Find the length of LO. So again, I just want to solve for x. So you can see that these two sides are corresponding. I'm going to have x plus 3 over 12 equals 10. Ooh, careful here. This is not just x, this is just not just 10. Let's say this is 5. This whole length then for LM would be 10 plus 5, or 15. We have to add these two things together for the length. So I have to have x plus 10 for ML. That's why it makes this one a little more work. So I get a binomial, 2 terms times 2 terms equals 12 times 10 is 120. I'm going to have to FOIL this side, which creates a quadratic. So I get x squared plus 10x plus 3x, and then 3 times 10 is 30, equals 120. I want to get this set equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract the 120 over, combine my two middle terms. I get x squared plus 13x minus 90 equals 0. Now I factor it again to try to get the solutions. So I should know that it had to be x times x. I need two numbers that multiply to make 90, that will really subtract to make 13, because I know I have a positive and a negative number to multiply to get 90. So it's not 9 and 10. I'll start 1 and 90, 2 and 45, no. 3 and 30, no. Does 90 divide by 4? No, it shouldn't. 90 divided by 5 is 18 and 5. That would be it, because 5 and 18 have a difference of 13. I want the bigger number to be my positive, so I have 18 and then minus 5. And then I solve each one, set equal to 0. Hopefully now you know it's just going to be the opposite sign. So that one would get a negative 18, and that one would get a positive 5. So I would add 5 over. We can't have the negative answer, so you're always going to discard one of them. Keep the positive answer. So this is 5. Wish I had said, I just guessed. That was right.